Do you ever feel the need to just get out there and go for a casual drive in your trusty ride of choice on your home desert planet? Welcome Star Wars fans, Jonesy here from the Hyperspace Database with today's episode, the X-34 Landspeeder. The X-34 was a civilian model landspeeder developed by the Soros subcorporation prior to the rise of the Galactic Empire, but saw widespread use during their reign over the galaxy. The X-34 was 11 feet long and could reach a maximum land speed of 155 miles per hour, which was average for a landspeeder. It hovered about 3 feet off of the ground. A retrofitted model could attach one blaster cannon, though this was not the normal configuration. It was normally unarmed. It only crewed one pilot, but could also carry one passenger as well. It was a fairly average landspeeder, as it was designed to be durable and accessible for most civilians, but not stylish, and it had a powerful repulsor lift engine and 3 air-cooled thrusters, which enabled it to travel over rough terrain at good speeds, and they were well suited for harsh climates like desert wastelands. The owner could choose between an open cockpit model or a closed bubble cockpit to keep the sand out and other elemental annoyances. Since they were fairly affordable, many of the moisture farmers on Tatooine had landspeeders, and while many of them quickly aged in the harsh sands, with careful maintenance they could last for quite some time, as Luke's X-34 lasted for many years and made numerous trips to the cities and settlements like Tosche Station. Luke's X-34 was old and battered, but still worked quite well, and was more than up to the task of scouring the planet looking for R2-D2 after he ran away looking for Obi-Wan Kenobi. Luke ran into more than he bargained for when he stumbled onto a party of Tusken Raiders, though, who proceeded to strip his X-34, but luckily they were stopped from doing too much damage by the arriving Obi-Wan. After Luke was able to recover, he, R2, 3PO, and Ben used the speeder to go back to Old Ben's hut, where they made plans to drop him off at a spaceport so he could go rescue Princess Leia. On the way to the spaceport, they ran into the sandcrawler that had found R2-D2 and C-3PO. And Luke put 2 and 2 together and rushed back to the moisture farm. But even the speed of the X-34 could not outrun destiny, and Luke arrived too late, seeing his aunt and uncle's corpses burning alongside the homestead. Luke returned to Ben and the droids, and committed himself to going with Ben and learning the ways of the Force. As the crew made their way into Mos Eisley, they were stopped by a squad of stormtroopers, and thanks to old Ben's Jedi mind tricks, they were soon on their way to try to find a ship. After meeting up with Han Solo and Chewbacca, they needed cash, as neither Ben nor Luke were rich by any means. Obi-Wan suggested they sell Luke's speeder, which Luke was fine with, since he was leaving Tatooine behind to start a new life. He was only able to collect 2,000 credits for the speeder though, as the newer XP-38 speeders were replacing the older X-34 models. The XP-38 was an upgraded model of the X-34 that possessed bulkier turbine engines, a closed cockpit, and was overall sleeker and sportier than the less flashy X-34. It was also much faster than the X-34, being able to reach speeds of up to 230 miles per hour. However, it did not perform as well over rougher terrain, so a modified version was released called the XP-38 All-Terrain Rough Rider. The X-34 was very popular during the Galactic Civil War, and it was used by civilians as well as the Rebel Alliance, who outfitted them with Mark II medium blaster cannons, though they were still not armored and did not take the place of other heavier tanks or transports. The X-34 makes appearances in several Star Wars video games, from Rogue Squadron 3 Rebel Strike in a training mission, to a playable craft in the LEGO Star Wars video games, and the vehicle free-for-all game Star Wars Demolition, where the lore actually states that Wade Vox, a human smuggler from Alderaan, purchased Luke's landspeeder from another smuggler and used it in Jabba's underground demo derby, though he didn't discover it used to belong to Luke until sometime after he acquired it. The X-34 landspeeder was a very efficient means of transportation for civilians on remote worlds, and with its dependable hardware and history of smooth operation, it was no wonder that it was the preferred means of travel across the unforgiving deserts of barren worlds like Tatooine. Want to know more about great Star Wars topics just like this one? Be sure to check out my other videos, hit those like and subscribe buttons, and the bell to be notified every time I publish something new. Be sure to check out my Hyperbites every week for really short, condensed versions of videos as well. Be sure to let me know in the comments what you thought of this and just chat with me, because I really love talking to you. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and I'll see you in the next one.